Hi all, Namaste. Welcome to a new episode of Wookie Buckets. Have you read the story of a vampire finding new blood and spreading the undead curse, attempting to move from Transylvania to England? If you haven't, then it's your time to start reading it as we celebrate the master brain, Sir Bram Stoker's birthday here at Bookie Buckets. So I would like to tell you as a disclaimer that all these informations are collections from internet that I have gathered and made it into um, PPT. So if you would like to access these, you can always go for the internet and you can always view this video too. So today we are going to speak about Sir Bram Stoker's early life and early careers and some points related to his life. So I hope you like this video. So without blabbering so much, let's move on to the video. Now, talking about Sir Bram Stoker was born on 8 November 1847 at 15 Merino Crescent, Clontarf, on the northern side of Dublin, Ireland, and his parents were Abraham Stoker, 1899-1876, from Dublin, and Charlotte Matilda Blake Thornley, 1818-1901, who was raised in County Sligo. Now, Stoker was the third of seven children and was bedridden with an unknown illness until he started school at the age of 7, when he made a complete recovery. And of this time, Stoker writes that I was naturally thoughtful, and leisure of long illness gave me opportunity for many thoughts, which were fruitful according to their kind in later years. So he was also educated in a private school run by the Reverend William Woods. After his recovery, he also grew up without any further illnesses in his life and excelling as an athlete at Trinity College Dublin, which he attended in 1864 to 1870. He also graduated with a BA in 1870 and persuaded his MA in 1875. He was named the university athlete, participating in multiple sports, including playing rugby for Dublin University. He was the auditor of College Historical Society, the HIST, and the president of University Philosophical Society. And he remains the only student at Trinity's history to hold the both positions. And here, his first paper was on the topic sensationalism and fiction and society. Now, moving on to his early careers, Stoker became an interested person in theatre as a student through his friend Dr. Munsell. So, while working as the Irish Civil Service, he became the theatre critic for Dublin Evening Mail, which was co-owned by Sheridan Le Fanu, an author of Gothic tales. Theatre critics were also held in low esteem at that time, but he attracted notice by the quality of his reviews. In December 1876, he gave a favorable review of Henry Iving's Hamlet in the Theatre Royal in Dublin, and Iving invited Stoker for dinner at the Shelbourne Hotel where he was staying, and they thus became friends. Stoker also wrote stories, and The Crystal Cup was published by the London Society in 1872 and followed by The Chain of Destiny in 4 parts in the Shamrock in 1876. While as working as a civil servant in Dublin, Stoker wrote the non-fiction book The Duties of Clerks of Petty Sessions in Ireland, published 1879, which remained as a standard work. And furthermore, he possessed an interest in art and was founder of the Dublin Sketchling Club in 1879. Now, moving on to his connections with the Lyceum Theatre, in 1878, Stoker married Florence Balcom, daughter of Colonel James Balcom of 1 Merino Crescent. She was a celebrated beauty at that time, and Stoker moved to London, where Stoker became an acting manager and then business manager of Iving's Lyceum Theatre, London, a post he held for 27 years. On 31st December 1879, Bram and Florence's only child was born, a son whom they christened Iving Noel Thornley Stoker. They collaborated with Henry Iving, was important for Stoker, and through him he became involved in the London's high society, where he met James Abbott, McNeill Whistler, and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, to whom he was distinctly related, and working for Iving, the most famous actor of his time, and managing one of the most successful theatres in London, made Stoker a notable, if busy man. And he was also dedicated to Iving. In his memoirs show he idolized him. Now, in London, Stoker also met Hall Caine, who became one of his closest friends, to whom he dedicated the Dracula. In the course of Iving's tour, Stoker traveled the world, although he never visited the Eastern Europe, a setting for his most famous novel. Now, Stoker enjoyed the United States, where Iving was popular. Stoker set 2 of his novels in America and used Americans as his character, the most notable being Quincy Morris. Now, speaking about Stoker's writings, Stoker visited the English coastal town of Whitby in 1890, and that visit was said to be a part of the inspiration for Dracula. He began writing novels while working as a manager for Iving and secretary and director of London's Eucum Theatre. Beginning with The Snake's Pass in 1890 and Dracula in 1897, during this period, Stoker was a part of literary staff of Daily Telegraph in London, and he wrote other fictions including the horror novels The Lady of the Shroud 1909 and The Lair of the White Worm 1911. He published his personal reminiscences of Henry Iving in 1906 after Iving's death, which proved successful and managed productions at the Prince of Wales Theatre. Now, before writing Dracula, Stoker met Armin Wemry, a Hungarian Jewish writer and a traveler. So, Dracula likely emerged from Wemry's stories of Carpathian mountains, and this is just a theory. And there's been claim and challenges for this theory over the due course of time. Now, talking about the last years of Bram Stoker, the basis and one of the most popular and sensational explanations for Stoker's death is that he had tertiary syphilis, and his biography also contains little information that is new from family sources. What there is and is sometimes confusing. So, on the screen are some of the books written by Bram Stoker, and if you have been thinking about reading any of these books, then it is now or never, so you can read it as soon as possible. And yeah, if you have read these books, then please do comment your reviews down below in the comment box so it can be helpful for many people like me also. And that's all for today. Thank you all, and have a great day.